Oops. Hello, everyone. Camera's wrong. Camera is too high. Hold on. Right? Here we go. How's that look? It's somewhat better. It's not great. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome to the Weekend Preview. I am Darkside Phil, and today is May 31st, 2015. I think there's a little bit too much brightness on the camera right now, but I'm just going to roll with it. Welcome to what is going to be the very first week of June. Welcome to a week that we're kind of in a transitionary phase here because of the stuff that's going on, and allow me to explain what that means here in the Weekend Preview. But before we get started with that, I just want to make it clear that there will be no names or thank yous in this video simply because today is the transitionary day. It is May 31st. By the time you watch this or the time this goes live on YouTube, for you it might already be June 1st, 2015. And that means that Patreon is resetting right now. It's in the process of actually... This camera bugs me when it's not straight. That's a little better. But anyway... yeah, Patreon is in the process of tonight, at the midnight cutoff. It will basically block off anyone from pledging anymore for the month of May, and it'll start charging people for the month of May. If you do not pledge within the next couple of hours of me recording this, which is really, quite honestly, by the time you see it on YouTube, it's probably going to be too late. If you do pledge to my Patreon, you're going to be pledging for the month of June, and therefore you're not going to be seeing your perks or anything until the month of July, okay? So the good news is that if everything goes through, we have accrued enough pledges that we'll be doing all of my goals for the month of June, which means we will be starting Yakuza 4 in the month of June. The patrons who donated $5 or more will be voting on two things. First of all, the next game that will be in the DSP Classics montage series once Heavy Rain concludes in a week or two. And also, there will be a new marathon at the end of the month that's either going to be Sonic the Hedgehog Classics, Crash Bandicoot, or Banjo-Kazooie. So the patrons will be voting on all that over the course of the month. But that's good news. And it even looks like there may actually be a little bit of extra left over. And if it is left over, that will be going towards my $2,000 stretch goal, which really is just raising around $750 to get a better camera. If we do get that extra money, that will be reflected when I update my goals for the month of June, which means it won't show that I need $750 anymore. It'll be reduced a little bit. But I don't know. I honestly, realistically don't know what I'm going to get. And the reason I say that is every month, what happens is this day, right? The day when it ends and then it starts charging. Over the next several days, Patreon will be charging everyone. And a lot of people, unfortunately, either get declined or they back out for whatever reason. And it seems to always lower. Like last month, it said I was going to have around $1,400, and I ended up with $1,255. So there you go. That extra money that I was going to put towards the camera last month didn't exist. Hopefully, it does this month, and it will exist. Okay? So we'll see what happens. Really, I don't have too much else to talk about Patreon, because Patreon will not affect anything this week. This week will be continuing on business as usual until all the charges go through. And then I'll let you know next week how everything happened and what happened this week and how the Patreon goals will be affecting future content this month, all right? But now let's talk about this week in particular. Let's talk about what's going on this week, okay? So, today, I actually played what might have been but ended up not being my final stream of Persona 4. I went into the final dungeon of the game. I explored and I went through, and I'm actually, from what I'm to understand, I'm like one floor away from the final floor. So I've got 2 floors left to do in the final dungeon, the final boss fight, and then the conclusion, the true ending and conclusion of the game. From what people are saying, it'll take me maybe a couple hours tops to beat it. So the current videos caught up to now are in playlist and are now on DSP Gaming. So if you haven't been watching recently and you're like, wow, the conclusion's finally coming. Yeah, it's coming this week. You're going to want to check those videos out and get caught up, okay? Tonight, after I work on this weekend preview, I'm actually going to be working on the best and worst of May 2015 montage. And since I'll be working on this montage, it means there's no second stream tonight. And I'm taking your suggestions. There were 15 people who posted up their suggestions on the forums. I'm going to try to remember stuff from my own personal experience in the playthroughs I did this month and try to incorporate those as well. But I'll be honest, it's hard, especially a month like this month where there really was no, when you think about it, what was the big release of May? I don't know. We had Mortal Kombat 10 that was continuing, right? We had Life is Strange Episode 3. We had Game of Thrones Episode 4. We had the final DLC for The Evil Within. And then we had Witcher 3, which is kind of an ongoing playthrough. And yeah, there's some funny stuff in there that I'm definitely going to put into the montage, but I don't know if there's anything that's like, wow, laugh out loud hilarious or super like important in the course of the game that needs to be called out for a best of montage at this point. And therefore, I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure what to put in. I have to think about that. I'm going to be working on that tonight. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be finishing it. So that leads us into what's going to happen on Monday. And I hate to say it, ladies and gentlemen, because I am a little disappointed. I had a concrete plan for what I wanted to do this Monday, and once again, thanks to the fucking ineptitude of the United States Postal Service, I once again cannot do what I wanted to do. This is the second time in 3 months where either Leanna or I ordered something off of a website, Amazon.com, and Amazon.com says, we do Sunday delivery now. And they schedule it for Sunday delivery, and they tell me an item is coming specifically on Sunday delivery, and then it doesn't get delivered. So you may be saying, what item, what's affecting your schedule? Well, this new game, Splatoon, for the Wii U, came out on Friday, and I played it, and I enjoyed it. The problem was, as I was playing it, I kept disconnecting. As I was playing it, I just kept constantly disconnecting from matches. And people were saying there's a possibility that it's the wireless internet was either being flaky in my house. As you guys know, the Wii U does not have a built-in Ethernet port. You need to use wireless internet or buy an adapter. Now, I had an adapter that I used on the Nintendo Wii, but when I used that on the Wii U, it didn't work properly. It was incredibly slow, and actually, it was over 2 years ago. It was actually about 2 years ago now. I wanted to play Lego Undercover. This was the exclusive Wii U title that everyone was like, oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be this huge, great game for the Wii U. And I went to download. I wanted to get the digital version. It took me 3 days to download it using the Ethernet adapter. And then people said, but Phil, didn't you hear that the Wii U really isn't built for Ethernet connections? You should use the wireless. So then I started using the wireless, and everything was fast on the console. Fast forward 2 years later, now everyone says, well, ever since Smash was released, there was a console update for the Wii U that makes it work better now with the Ethernet because people were complaining the wireless was shit. So now apparently I need to go back to the Ethernet. I don't have that Ethernet adapter anymore, and that one was an old model slow one anyway. So over the weekend, after playing Splatoon on Friday and having 100 disconnects in the multiplayer, I ordered off of Amazon, like the highest rated one. It says with drivers for Wii and Wii U, it had like 5 stars. Everyone's saying it's the best one. Supposed to come today. I'm waiting all day. Finally, I get a text during dinner, and it's like 5 p.m. my time, and it says it's been delivered. I'm like, wow, it's been delivered. I really, the United States Postal Service doesn't usually deliver on Sunday, so this is kind of weird that I didn't hear a knock at the door. I checked my front door, nothing there. I'm like, okay. So I went further to the website, and it says, no, it was left in your mailbox. Now, here at my facility where I live, it's not a facility, it's a private community. Our mailboxes are way at the front. So Leanna and I, after dinner, we go for a walk. We walk to the front of the facility, open the box, nothing. So this is the second time this has happened in 3 months. The United States Postal Service has lied online on their own tracking information and to Amazon.com. They lied and said they delivered something they didn't. It's actually against the law because mail that goes through the United States Postal Service is federal. It's protected by the federal government. If you open up someone's mail, if you steal someone's mail, it's considered a federal offense. And so the United States Postal Service lying and saying they're delivering stuff when they're not is actually a federal offense, but they don't give a fuck. So, because who's going to sue them or hold them accountable, right? So, unfortunately, I didn't get my adapter, and the sad part about it is there's no guarantee. Now, they didn't deliver it today. They claim they already delivered it, so now they'll take their fucking sweet time. Who knows? I might get it tomorrow. I might not. I might get it first thing tomorrow morning. I might get it midday tomorrow. I might get it tomorrow night. I might not get it tomorrow at all, and I called Amazon, and they're like, sorry, there's nothing we can do about it because that's the United States Postal Service. All you can do is call them directly tomorrow and find out why they lied or where the hell this is, and by the way, they probably won't know because they already marked it as delivered, so they have no clue where the fuck the item is anyway. So that's great, right? So the bottom line is I apologize to everyone. I had every intention of playing Splatoon on the Wii U tomorrow as another 3-hour multiplayer stream. I wanted to get my character to level 10 because once you hit level 10, it was supposed to unlock the ranked matches. And apparently enough people are hitting level 10 that it looks like around Monday everyone will be able to play ranked matches. And now I can't do it unless I try the wireless again, which is probably going to disconnect and be shitty. So I'm faced with the choice tomorrow. I have 2 choices. One, I can say, well, I'm not going to be playing the multiplayer, but I'll try the single player of Splatoon. Now, from what I'm to understand, it does have its own standalone single player campaign. It's not great. Everyone's saying it's not a great campaign, but the boss fights are kind of interesting. And by playing the campaign, you can actually unlock unlockables in the game that you can use in multiplayer as well. Some good, like, equipment and stuff that you can use. So I'm like, all right, so not all is lost, but let's be honest. Who wants to see the campaign of Splatoon? Like, does anyone want to see it? I would think it's a multiplayer-based game. It's being sold as a multiplayer-based game. You probably want to see the multiplayer. Why would anyone really give a shit about the campaign? And so I kind of have to say, I'm not sure. Will anyone care that I am going to be playing the campaign? So I counter that and I say, well, it says I can't play the multiplayer tomorrow. I can easily do a full stream of Witcher 3. And that'll be full, 3 hours of Witcher 3 story development instead. And then when the adapter finally shows up, I'll schedule in this week to play Splatoon. Okay? So those are our choices for Monday. So I'm going to leave it to you, the viewers, to determine. There's going to be a straw poll up. I'm going to put it in the description of this video. Now understand, if you're not watching this video Sunday night, chances are there's no point in voting because it'll already be Monday and I'll already have looked at the results and made the decision, okay? What would you rather see on Monday? Me play the single-player campaign of Splatoon or me do more Witcher 3 on stream? So please vote in the straw poll. The link is in the description of the video. I'll also tweet it out on Twitter tonight as well. All right. That'll be my first gameplay stream for Monday. There will be no second gameplay stream because I'm going to be hopefully working on and finishing up the best and worst of May 2015. So hopefully I'll get through it. I'll have enough videos. I'll compile it, and I'll have a cool montage for you guys by the end of Monday night, by which you can see all the fun stuff that happened in the month of May. All right. Tuesday, big day. We've got Tanya coming out in Mortal Kombat 10. She's the second downloadable character. Now, again, I hate to say this again, I can't tell you for sure what we're doing in what order because here's why. PlayStation Network doesn't update consistently. I'll say that again. It just doesn't update consistently. Some games release at midnight, some DLCs release at midnight, some expansions release at first thing in the morning, some release later in the day. There's no fucking consistency when it comes to PlayStation Network. You don't know when things are coming out. When I went to play the first DLC character of MKX, Jason, I said the same thing. I woke up that morning and people said, sorry, Phil, he's available on Xbox One. He's been playable since last night, but they never released him on PSN, so it looks like you won't be playing him on first stream. So I said, all right, we'll switch it around, whatever. Last minute, literally last minute, as I was about to start streaming, someone said, Phil, did you know that there's a workaround, a glitch, an exploit you could use to play as Jason? No, I didn't know that. I tried it. It worked. So I started my stream, played as Jason for 10 minutes. Then they patched the game, and Jason was available. So it's like, are they going to do that again? Will Tanya be available earlier, as he was supposed to be, as Jason was supposed to be, and wasn't? Will he not? Will she not be? I don't know. I don't know what the hell NetherRealm and PSN and Sony are doing. They fucked up last time. I don't know what they're going to do this time with this DLC character. If the character is available for first stream, yes, I'd like to play with Tanya first in training mode and try out her 3 different versions. Then I want to play one tower with her where we go into her story. And then I like to go online and do some multiplayer. Ideally, if it was the first stream, 3 hours, I like to spend a half an hour in training mode, half an hour on the tower, 2 hours in multiplayer. And that'll be the Tanya launch stream. And then maybe if I like the character, later on in the week, I'll play some more Tanya. Or maybe I won't. Maybe what I'll do is I'll wait till Sunday and we'll do an MKX, DSP versus fans style stream. So all that's possible, but the bottom line is I can't promise you that because I don't know that Tanya will be available on Tuesday because PSN never updates consistently. Thanks, Sony, for taking all that PS Plus money and basically shoving it up your ass and not actually doing anything to make your service more consistent for customers. So, that being said, if Tanya is available first stream Tuesday, that will be first stream, and second stream will probably either be Witcher 3 or it may be Persona 4. It depends on what happened Monday. If we played Witcher 3 again already on Monday, probably I won't do it Tuesday second stream, okay? But if we didn't, if it ended up being Splatoon campaign on Monday, then Witcher 3 will probably be second stream on Tuesday, all right? Whenever I play Persona 4 next, I'm beating the game. It only takes a couple hours, so that'll be the grand conclusion. It may be as early as Tuesday night. We'll see what happens with the schedule this week, okay? So, let's say that, unfortunately, it doesn't work out. And let's say that Tanya is not available on first stream, so I end up doing the vice versa. Let's say that I end up doing Witcher 3 on first stream, right? Then I'll probably play with Tanya on second stream on Tuesday. So it'll be an abridged stream where I'll probably do In the Lab and 1 or 2 towers. And then what I'll do is I'll do a second stream on Wednesday where I will do multiplayer with Tanya. So the good news for MKX fans, yes, I am covering Tanya this week. Yes, there will be In the Lab, tower gameplay, and online gameplay. But I can't promise you when because Sony is inconsistent with PSN. Whenever she's available, I'll play as her. I hope she's available first stream Tuesday. If not, we'll have to split it into separate, smaller streams, okay? So if Tanya is available on Tuesday first stream, then Wednesday will be more of a focus on, say, the conclusion of Persona 3, and maybe we'll do some Splatoon, or maybe we'll do more Witcher 3. It all depends on what happens. That's why I want to consistently tell you guys what is it that's happening, because I can't, because it's all fucked up right now. Everything's all kind of screwed up, and I can't tell you because we have uncertainty for Monday, uncertainty for Tuesday. It's uncertain all week, right? Thursday, there will be one major gameplay stream. I'm not sure what it's going to be. It'll all be dependent upon the week, but again, it'll be either balance, either Splatoon multiplayer, or it could possibly be more Splatoon campaign, or it could be Witcher 3, or it could be, you know, who knows. It all depends on what happened during the course of the week, all right? There will be a new Hate Live podcast this week. Yes, there will be, and this is going to be a good one because I'm going to kind of cumulatively cover everything that's happened in the past several weeks, talk about games and stuff that I've experienced. There's going to be a big summer update on this Hate Live. I'm going to cover all the games that I'm looking forward to this summer. I'm going to kind of outline them so you know what to look forward to. I'm also going to tell you about all the stuff I want to do as it's not a new release. So there's a few games I have in mind that I've wanted to play for a long time. I'm going to talk about all those on Hate Live this week. There will be a Back in the Day segment. If you remember last time I did a Hate Live, I did a Back in the Day segment about my local mall and how I hung out there. This time it's going to be about this arcade called Smiles Entertainment Center. Originally it was actually called Milford Amusement Center, and then it became Smiles Entertainment Center in the late 90s into early 2000s. I want to tell you about my experiences at this arcade. It was a big staple of fighting game players in Connecticut for a long time. We held multiple tournaments there that spanned multiple states. We had people coming from Rhode Island and New Jersey and New York, and everyone coming in for the tournaments that I ran there. And it was a good place and a lot of fun. And the reason I want to talk about it pertinently is because a month or two ago it got knocked down. It basically went out of business years ago. They finally demolished the building a couple months ago, and so now would be a good time to kind of reminisce a little bit about it. So that's going to be what the Back of the Day segment is going to be about. So that'll be fun. We'll have a recap of all the stuff I've been up to, a summer preview. I'll also tell you about how I'm going to cover E3 and stuff like that. Summer preview and Back in the Day coming this Thursday. Friday, again, will be dependent upon how this week went. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what I am absolutely going to get to this week, because I know right now it's very inconsistent with the week in preview of what I'm doing. I'm 100% finishing Persona 4 this week, and it is going to be a shorter stream, a 2-hour stream, so it'll probably be a second stream either Tuesday, Wednesday, or sometime on Thursday. You know, it's finishing this week, no matter what. I'll tell you that, okay? I am playing at least 3 more Witcher 3 streams this week. So whether it's Monday or Tuesday, and then maybe one Wednesday or Thursday, and then one during the weekend, I'm at least doing 3, if not more, Witcher 3 streams this week, because I want to have a solid progression in that game, because since it came out 2 weeks ago, I've been so busy with balancing it with every other release, like, you know, oh my god, Life is Strange came out, and then last week we had 2 DLCs come out, and it's like so much coming out all at the same time that I had to keep delaying stuff, and delaying the playing of Witcher 3, and now I want to focus in on it again. Okay, so that's at least several streams of that. There will be more Splatoon this week. I just don't know when. It all depends. When do I get this adapter? And I do want to play through some of the campaign. If people are interested, that's what the straw poll's for. If not, I definitely want to play more multiplayer once the adapter comes and give it a shot. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to play Splatoon. I'll be honest with you guys. The game has 5 maps. I'll say that again. The game has 5 maps at launch. That's it. A retail game, full price for Nintendo, $50 retail game, has 5 maps. Now, they've promised, oh, if you hold on to the game, give us till, like, August, and we'll come out with more maps. It's like, but does the game have enough content to hold up a $50 retail release? And that's what I can't answer you until I get this adapter and I play more online. So, that's definitely happening this week. And yes, I am covering Tanya this week, as I already discussed whenever it happens, all right? This Friday night is the big conclusion, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, the conclusion to the best and worst of Heavy Rain montage series. Part 8 will be the final part in the mainstream series. And what I mean by that is, if you guys remember, there was more than just that. There was actually a DLC that lasted over 90 minutes. It was called The Taxidermist, which actually had some hilarious moments. I played it co-op with John Rambo, and it was really good, and I actually want to kind of do that too, but this Friday will be the mainstream end of the Heavy Rain Best and Worst montages, and so this will be the epic conclusion. If you've held off on watching these montages so far, to put it in a nutshell, in about a 4-hour time period, I've condensed the best parts of the playthrough. You could still follow the story. You'll still get all the laughs and the glitches and everything that happened in my original playthrough of the game. Plus, I managed to edit in some really funny stuff, video clips and stuff from outside things that really make it a lot of fun. And people who've watched them so far said they loved them. And it's in 4 hours. You're watching the entire 10-plus hour playthrough. It was 60 parts, I believe, to start. And this is back when every part, was a good 10-15 minutes, so you're talking 60 parts, right? You're talking a good 10 hours or so of gameplay there. So that's kind of what we're going for here, is to condense that, and I've managed to condense it, and it's going to be concluding this Friday. There will probably be one more part to do the Taxidermist, and we'll see how that goes, okay? So that's coming this Friday night. I'm excited for that. And then the patrons, as I said, will be voting. And we'll talk about that in just one moment, about the patron stuff. Because you notice I didn't mention anything new about the patrons this week at all, right? I'm trying to kind of keep that delayed a little bit, and I'll explain why in a moment. So just to quickly recap, and then we'll talk about the patron stuff to close. Tomorrow, either Splatoon campaign or Witcher 3, depending on your votes on the straw poll. Go to the description and vote. Tuesday, we'll see the premiere of Tanya in MKX. I just don't know when. It could be first stream, it could be second stream, depending on what happens with PSN and when she's available. I will balance that with whatever makes sense. If it makes sense to do Persona 4 and finish the game, I'll do it on second stream. If we're doing Tanya's second stream because she wasn't available on first stream, maybe we'll do more Splatoon or Witcher 3. Whatever I didn't do on Monday, I'll probably end up playing then, okay? Wednesday, again, will either be more Tanya, or if I had enough time to play with Tanya on Tuesday, it'll be a balance of the other things I hadn't done. Thursday, there will be one gameplay stream and Hate Live. Friday, there'll be one gameplay stream and the final part of the best and worst of Heavy Rain of the mainstream campaign of the game. During the weekend, there will be a new DSP Tries It this coming Saturday, as well as there will be a gameplay stream on Saturday. It probably is going to end up being Witcher 3, I'm thinking, okay? And then Sunday is also up in the air because I'm debating if I should do an MKX stream with viewers or not. We'll see what happens during the course of the week, how I feel about that. Okay? So, that's kind of the deal with what's going on this week. And you might have just said to yourself, that's great, Phil, and it's great that your Patreon is successful this month as well. Amazing. Hopefully all the pledges go through. But when does that stuff go into effect? Because you mentioned yourself, Yakuza 4, a new best and worst of DSP Classics playthrough, and this marathon. Well, the marathon, I'll be honest with you, will be at the end of the month. The marathon's either going to be the 29th or 30th of June, and that way it'll give plenty of time for the patrons to start voting once I get them upgraded. Typically, it takes about a week for them to get upgraded. So probably around the middle of June, the poll will go live, and the patrons will start voting on what I will be playing in that marathon. Okay? Yakuza 4 will not start this week, because I want to definitively finish Persona 4. I want to get major progress in Witcher 3. I do want to play with Tanya in MKX, and I do want to do more Splatoon. I don't want to promise you, oh no, I'll start a new game right away, and now it's like, now I've got 5 fucking games I'm juggling, No. Let's get Persona done. Let's get Tanya, experienced and played with. Let's get stuff off the table so we can focus more in on what we want to do in the month of June, alright? So, more than likely, Yakuza 4 is starting, next week. Not this week. Next week, Yakuza 4 will be premiering, okay? And then last but not least, the best and worst of DSP Classics. When will we determine what's next? Well, once the patrons come through this week and everything's pledged and charged, I'll start upgrading them again. And basically, again, by around probably the 2nd to 3rd week of June, I will be starting a poll where the patrons will vote. What game do you want to see? Now, I've seen a lot of things. People said Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. That's great. But you have to understand that's going to be very difficult to do, and that's going to need buy-in from you, the viewers, to nominate what are your favorite moments of those playthroughs so I can put them together. Because I cannot watch a 20 to 30 hour playthrough back to get caught up with Fallout New Vegas and start putting stuff, you know what I mean, into a montage. It's just not going to happen. Or if it ends up being something short, like Start the Party, or any of these silly motion games that I did over the years, you know what I mean? Stuff with the Kinect, stuff like that. Maybe I could do the best of Kinect, where I go through all my Kinect playthroughs and I find funny moments and I edit them together. That's a lot more viable than, say, Phil, go through Mass Effect 2, your 25-hour playthrough, and find the best moments. It's like, how am I going to fucking do that, you know? Unless people, again, they buy in and they say, I want to see that, so I'm going to tell Phil, here's the funniest moments and here's what I thought from the playthrough was good. That's one thing, but I really don't see that happening. With the best and worst of the month, even I don't see that. Where 15 people posted up for the best and worst of May, and I got to work with that now tonight to try to make the best and worst of the month. When I played some, you know, how many hours of gameplay this month, I got to try to remember the funny stuff to happen. It's difficult. So, the more help from you, the better it turns out. But again, the best and worst of DSP Classics Heavy Rain concludes this Friday, and I probably will be even going one more week to do the Taxidermist, and then after that will be when the new thing is selected and I start it. Okay? So that is it for the weekend preview. It was a long one. There was a ton of stuff to talk about, and I hate to say it, but it's confusing because I can't promise you when I'm doing certain stuff because my adapter didn't show up, because, you know, PSN is unreliable. I wish I could say, wow, this is happening on this day at this time, and I can't do that because I'm at the whim of a lot of factors around me. So here's hoping that it's a fun week. I think it's going to be a fun week regardless. You know, all the stuff I'm playing so far. The little I played of Splatoon I really liked. Can't wait for the conclusion of Persona 4. MKX really, with the characters and stuff, hasn't really disappointed me yet. And Witcher 3 I'm loving. Despite the fact not a lot of people are really interested or involved in the playthrough, I'm liking the game and I want to keep playing it. So all that stuff I'm really excited for. Hate Live I'm always excited for. Going to be a jam-packed fun week. I hope you'll join me for it, all right? So I'm DSP. Thanks for watching. More info coming later in the week on what exactly is every day, but please vote right now. If you are watching this on Sunday or early Monday, please vote in the straw poll in the description of this video for what should happen Monday, either Witcher 3 or the campaign of Splatoon. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I appreciate it. See you later, and see you this week for new gameplay coming at you. See you then.